Hi, I'm Daniel, and Ron's Gone Wrong is an animated film released in 2021 by Locksmith Animation, which was the studio's first and comedy-only film. This was a newcoming studio, and this movie became well liked with a mostly positive reception. It had a yard tie-in involved because the director also directed After Christmas, which is amazing. I'll need to make a video on that film in the future, because I still do plan on doing these type of videos. However, I didn't like Ron's Gone Wrong. There's parts to like, but the more I thought about it, the more I disliked it and realised the problems, which mainly seem to revolve around the ending. I decided to make a video discussing the movie, mainly so I could stop thinking about it. I say this, but I still push back finishing this video for months. My upload rate was a bit slower a couple months back, and it's already been almost a year since my last review analysis on a single movie. I did a couple of franchise reviews in the time since, but I haven't done a multi-part analysis. I'll tell you as commonly as used to, but there's still plans for more after. Okay, so how did Ron's Gone Wrong end up wrong? Part 1, Failure of a Buddy Movie. This movie is generic, which isn't always bad. Tropes are tropes for a reason, so if they are used well, I don't mind. However, I don't think Ron's Gone Wrong executes things right, mainly with the world and characters. It is falling into the common tropes in so many ways, and it doesn't create much interesting ideas with this. This movie has a main character who has no friends and gets a broken robot. He doesn't like him at first, but then he beats up boys and suddenly they are best friends. There need to be more scenes. I can see how there will be some change with this, but not with how much he protects Ron after. So, he uses a book to try and teach Ron about who he is, but the interactions remain a bit distant, especially with Ron messing up and following him to school one day. This movie's first half is boring, generic, and a bit hard to watch at times. I do think it improves when they hide in the forest. It gets kind of interesting to see him try and live out here, and I do kind of enjoy this stretch of the story. However, it still has the problem of making them buddies, which I don't buy. Why would they do all this for each other? This dynamic is trying, but it misses scenes to establish or start a proper connection with them. This causes problems when the movie wants to make Ron being dysfunctional be a good thing, but is it? He can't function at the basic purpose and seems to mess everything up. I will save the discussion for later parts, but I don't see why Barney will want Ron so much, and that pulls down the other movie's heart. As well as generic, the movie is just quite weirdly paced. It feels like Act 3 is over and we're revolving action, and it could have ended earlier, but we need an extra part of saving Ron with the other characters. The actual third act feels like too much of a detour, but more on that later. What else do I have problems with? Part 2, Animation and Comedy. This is the first film from Locksmith Animation, so in some sense I respect it gives him more of a pass. I like the animation, the robots look nice, I like the style of their digital faces, there's some nice movement and it isn't on the level of most more animation studios. Still, the backgrounds look generic, like a boring schoolhouse, forest and tech buildings. The last one especially could feel more unique. The outside looks good, but not really inside. The human designs look okay, with an inconsistent design style. Barney has a generic animated face, but even that feels harsh with some characters in that group, whose design has your personality. They just resemble the same generic and visuals like the story does. The comedy can be occasionally funny sometimes, often from Ron. The random things he says and does is amusing. Most of the comedy isn't as good and more typical dialogue that doesn't work. The other jokes just feel like stuff I've heard before and just move on from. Corporations spy on people while surprised. There's many jokes but there's not more to it than just stating that. These aspects are grouped together because they are more minor problems, but show more to why this movie didn't work for me. It is boring and all the comedy is reference heavy. It is trying to pander to the family audience without much more to it. To make my rewatch enjoyable, I just think of SpongeBob references in my head. Next, I'll discuss the category I'm more mixed towards. Part 3, Mixed Bag of Characters. This might end up younger part. Ron is funny in a character I almost like. This fails to show why he worked better than the other robots or even good at all. The main friendship or story-wise isn't that good. Barney's the epitome of boy main character. He is meant to be so much of an average guy for the audience to see himself into, over anything interesting. He has no friends and is awkward. I get the story point, but so many of these scenes are just hard to watch. He builds a special connection with Ron, but I still don't buy it. Despite being the main character, we don't see much of his reasonings other than he wants to save Ron because he does. He also doesn't really have much personality traits like at all. I guess he likes rocks. That's almost something about him. Rich is a boy who comes out one-dimensional, but then his friends don't like him anymore and he has a redemption arc. It feels forced the way he changes and not shown any early traits before, and that aspect of making friends. As for some of the other characters, to quote Patrick Star, Seriously, it tries to add a group, but two of them are barely there with little to no personality. I'm guessing most people probably forgot they even exist. I see the point with Samantha's character. I like the arc given to her. The change feels more natural because she wasn't shown to be mean, and there's a quite decent commentary on broadcasting your life on the iron. However, I can't get over the poop girl as a crucial event. It's nothing much. The joke isn't on anyone and very embarrassing. You can kind of tell it's written with limited internet knowledge, but this is a character section. Samantha's fine but nothing compelling. The other character are mostly generic, with the evil businessman villain who serves little threat. Now for good, there's two characters we actually like in this movie. There's Barney's father, who is presented as out of touch with technology, but not against it. He is trying, and when he finds out about Bebop, he rushes to get one. He is a caring father who comes out very likeable. The other character I like is Mark, who carries this movie. He was the visionary who came up and created Bebots to help give friends. But his intention got corrupted, and seeing Ron shows you once more. It reminds me of what I designed Bebot for. This character is really engaged to the point where I kinda wish this movie was about him, and not these kids. Most characters are generic and fall too heavy in their trope. Tropes can be fine, but it seems like following yes to requirements, which leads into the next part, which I titled after SpongeBob.
Wait, SpongeBob! We're not cavemen! We have technology!
Part 4, we have technology. Once again, I see the point of the story, and I appreciate how this movie isn't anti-technology. It acknowledges how it can be a good thing and helps making friends. However, this feels limiting compared to other movies. The Mitchells vs. the Machines released the same year and was smart about it. Technology tied well to the themes of family and presentation of Katie's character, but this can't do that when Barney is so boring. It takes a very simplistic approach to robots existing, and it seems like it doesn't know much about the internet or time. Is it in the future or not? It feels like the past with better technology. Not much is done with what Bebots are aside from being yes convenient phones. They can look cool but not more. The programming over how this works is barely mentioned, and how this will become so popular and took over. Is there any competition with other bot companies, or does this company have a tech monopoly over Bebot? It feels like there are many elements of world-building that wasn't well thought out and doesn't feel natural. I don't get the impression that things were thought out aside from what's shown. This is nitpicking, but I find this attempt to be a bit cringe and not well thought out. It's only really a point where Bebots are assigned to have no personality, which in a model that works. This movie wants the audience to see that Ron is better, but I don't see it. Ron has some pros, but the AI making friends is better than the forced use friendship. All my issues seem to be highlighted more by the ending, so let's discuss that. Part 5, Dysfunctional Ending. The third act of Ron's Come Wrong feels very thrown on. Most of the story feels like it's the end to annihilate, but more conflict is needed. Ron is gone, so that means he needs to get the gang there to do a heist to save him. Somehow he hasn't been deleted, and out of Yoda Bebots he is still found. There's your contrivances to get there, but wait, there's still more. Barney decides he wants to change the code of all Bebots to be like Ron. Remove any choice of wanting them to work as yes convenient phones. Now they are forced to serve roles as friends. Also, wasn't this similar thing bad earlier when copying Ron's code was dangerous and caused a lot of trouble later in the movie? The full implication of this decision weren't properly shown, so you have to do a bit of speculation. It at worst will cause kids harm because there's no safety setting. Even if you pretend that part of Ron's code wasn't copied, this still moves you out of the original point. It could have had a compromise of the code being combined between the two. This tries to claim Ron is better for making friends, but it's not well conveyed. It tries to be against making friends by similar interests, but unpopular opinion, similar is better for friendship. I don't mean traits born with, but usually similarity is a better way to start off friendship. This seems to cause more friends with bots than with humans. I kind of hope there was a lawsuit, people wanting refunds after the movie ended. I don't believe for a second this was a decision that just made everyone happy. In my opinion, this is bad advice that makes everything the same, and worse. I doubt they properly thought about this decision. I was exaggerating calling this part dysfunctional ending, but I still don't like it. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth after the movie. And it makes the whole thing seem worse thinking about after. It leaves me dissatisfied. Still, the movie was slightly better on second watch than I remembered. It's not awful because it's occasionally fun and decent in the middle, but I'm not a fan of how this movie ended. From how I see it, it wasn't well set up or thought out. I'm just gonna go conclude the video now. Part 6 Conclusion. Locksmith Studio has some potential and I hope they can improve. This might have just been a test for them. I'm a bit worried there will end up being another argument with overrated movies. I'm fine with people liking this movie because I can see where they're coming from, but I have a feeling people will be more negative on this movie if it was made by Disney or Pixar. I wish British media was just better. But Yuki, the next movie is a Christmas movie, which caused Almond's easy best film. Just know, I'm the one whose opinion is unpopular. I prefer positive videos for this review and nicer series. I just wanted to finish it I started months ago. This film is quite recent compared to most of these videos. Next, I'll discuss an even more recent film. I may have talked about it before, but I think it deserves its own video and why it's underrated. If you enjoyed this video and want to see that video maybe next month, consider pressing subscribe and watching more. The end.